Assalamualaikum, my name is Eliana and I am from BA1185IA.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Amina binti Abdul Hafiz from BA1185IA.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Wan Sifino Khadijah Biswan Suhaimi from BA1185IA.
First and foremost, the event that we have chosen is Microsoft Bersama Malaysia Global Event, Empowering Malaysia's Inclusive Digital Economy. The event, which will held on Monday, 19 April 2021 at PICC, or known as Putrajaya International Convention Centre in Putrajaya, Malaysia. Microsoft Bersama Malaysia also came up with the event's theme, and the theme was Together with Malaysia. Furthermore, the event was officiated by our Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, Prime Minister of Malaysia, and Mr. Kiraman, Microsoft Malaysia Managing Director. Microsoft Malaysia also invited Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin Ali, Minister of International Trade and Industry or called MITI, and a few important guests for the event.
Event organizer. Background of main organizer. The first one is Microsoft. Microsoft Corporation is a technology company and American multinational technology corporation that produces computer software, consumer electronic, personal computer and related services. Microsoft was founded on April 1975 by Bill Gates and Paul Allen, located in Albuquerque, New Mexico, United States. In line with the country's My Digital goals, Microsoft Bersama Malaysia initiative is a game changer for the country's digital-first approach. Next is background of co-organizer. MIDA is the government's primary investment promotion and development agency, reporting to the Ministry of International Trade and Industry (MITI), and it is responsible for overseeing and driving investment in Malaysia's manufacturing and services sector. MIDA began operation in 1967 and was given duty to encourage investment in the manufacturing and services sector. MIDA extensive variety of services including providing information on investment opportunities as well as aiding organizations searching for joint venture partner.
Objectives of this event are: the first one, to announce that Microsoft established the first data center region in Malaysia for an initiative to support inclusive economic growth. The second one is to assist in the creation of economic opportunities for individuals and businesses in the digital world by training 1 million Malaysians by the end of 2023 with the help of government agencies and local companies. The third one is to explain Microsoft plans as well as its collaboration with the public and private sectors to establish and support economic growth in Malaysia. Last but not least, Microsoft is committed to equipping individuals with equal opportunities and an AI-enabled digital economy. Microsoft will give those opportunities to all Malaysian citizens by December 2023. There are 4 reasons why we choose this event, and the first one is because there is a lot of information about this event on every website, article and many more that we can find. Next, we choose this event because we want to know further about Microsoft that we learn so that we can know any of the information that they provide for us as a student. Furthermore, we also want to know what the plans and innovations will be done by Microsoft with Malaysia's digital economy for our country, especially for us as a student and young generation. Then, we also want to learn something new about Microsoft on how it works, where it works, and how Microsoft can affect us as a student.
Creative program of the event. The event started at 12 p.m. until 2 p.m. At 2 p.m. is the end of Microsoft Bersama Malaysia Global Event.
Opening ceremony of Microsoft Bersama Malaysia Global Event, Empowering Malaysia's Inclusive Digital Economy was held on 19 April 2021 at PICC Putrajaya, Malaysia. The event started at 12 p.m. and ended at 2 p.m. The event opened with Doa by Encik Muhammad Faizal Ahmad and started with a speech by Mr. Kiraman, Managing Director Microsoft Malaysia. During the speech, he highlighted that Microsoft is stepping in as the first digital to empower the inclusive digital economy in Malaysia. Microsoft launched digital by the government with a bold and progressive vision to empower the inclusive digital economy. Next, the second speech is from Mr. Jean-Philippe Couture, is and Executive Vice President and President of Global Sales of Marketing and Operation of Microsoft Corporation, who joined live and gave a talk from Paris through virtual communication. The third speech is from the Most Honorable Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, our Prime Minister of Malaysia. Throughout his speech, that as part of the digital strategy, he is pleased to welcome Microsoft's long-term commitment to cooperate with Malaysia to establish an inclusive digital economy under the Malaysia Initiative, which amounts to $1.6 billion or 4 billion Malaysian ringgit over the next 5 years. Next, the Memorandum of Understanding, or called MOU, signing ceremony between Microsoft Malaysia Sdn Bhd and the Malaysian Administrative Planning and Management Unit, also known as MAMPU, was held immediately after Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin's speech. And lastly, the Most Honorable Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin and Mr. K. Rahman officially touched the orbs behind them on the screen and activated the launch of Microsoft together with Malaysia initiative shortly after the MOU signing ceremony.
Profile of the attending event. First, we have Tan Sri Dato' Haji Mahyidin bin Muhammad Yassin, or also known as Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, is a Malaysian politician who was the country's 8th Prime Minister from March 2020 until August 2021. This year marks the 74th birthday of Malaysia's 8th Prime Minister, who was born on 15 May 1947 in Muar Johor. Muhyiddin's political career began in 1971 when he entered UMNO as an average member in the Muar Dalam division. In 1976, Muhyiddin was chosen as UMNO Youth President of the Pagoh division. He is Malaysia's shortest Prime Minister, having served for only 70 months. Furthermore, Muhyiddin also was the 10th Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of the Interior, as well as holding numerous other cabinet roles. Next is Mr. K. Rahman. K. Rahman is the Managing Director of Microsoft Malaysia. He, the person who is responsible for Malaysian subsidiary overseeing the entire country in line with the company's vision to authorize every organization in the world to achieve more. Mr. K. Rahman has been leading the team in Malaysia for more than 5 years. He has experienced almost 30 years in the IT sector and leadership, and also management experience spanning across from all Asia-Pacific markets. Mr. K. Rahman is also accomplished technology veteran who served in senior leadership role with EMC and HP for 15 years. He graduated from the University of Malaya with a Bachelor of Electrical Engineering.
Summary of visiting speech. Mr. K. Rahman is the Managing Director of Microsoft Malaysia, was the first person to give a speech at the event and directly deliver his welcome remarks. He also highlighted that for the past 30 years, Microsoft has been working with Malaysia to democratize the adoption and use of technology and equip our people with digital skills, tools and platforms to create and innovate. In his speech, he said that this collaboration stands ready to reinforce the infrastructure so that our first responders and frontliners are fitting itself. Our teachers, lecturers and students are continuously achieving academic excellence, and the private and public sectors are operating seamlessly, staying safe and yet effective. Lastly, he stated that Malaysia's inclusive digital economy will lead Malaysia's next phase of growth, and they are committed to skilling an additional million and more Malaysians by December 2023. They welcome communities in rural areas, people living with disabilities, and people from all walks of life to join them in ensuring equal participation in Malaysia's inclusive future. Next is speech by Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, the President of Malaysia. During his speech, Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin was pleased to welcome Microsoft's long-term commitment to be with Malaysia, or Bersama Malaysia. He stated that the first data center region in Malaysia, consisting of multiple data centers to manage data from many countries, will be built soon. Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin also highlighted that the collaboration with Microsoft and other companies will enhance talents to different degrees, potentially reaching 1 million Malaysians over the next 3 years. He hoped that this successful cooperation will serve as a paradigm for closing the technology gap and empowering every Malaysian via the use of technology. Furthermore, in his speech, he said that he would also like to see Microsoft's global commitment to shift 100% of its supply of renewable energy by 2035 for all its data centers, including Malaysia.
One of the official sponsorship for the event is Petronas. Petronas is a Malaysian oil and gas company. Petronas is an incorporated public organization with its legal entity and was established in 1974. By the year of 2021, Petronas announced that it is the official sponsor of Microsoft Bersama Malaysia global event. It said that Petronas will provide 20 million Malaysian ringgit of a long-term pipeline of a future-ready workers capable to supporting Malaysia's digital economy to create an inclusive digital future that benefits both individuals and the nations. Next is Celcom Axiata Berhad. Celcom Axiata Berhad is Malaysia's earliest mobile telecommunication provider. It was established in 1988. As a sponsor, Celcom will provide secure and reliable cloud services which will contribute to the growth of a thriving digital infrastructure and achieve the country's digital objective in a sustainable manner. Bank was established in 1975. It is the Malaysian Development Bank. Bank Group is one of the Malaysia's biggest banking group. Bank will make major financial contributions to the development to our first data center region in Malaysia. The Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Commission (MCMC) is a regulatory authority that is primarily proposed to regulate the communication and multimedia industries in Malaysia. And they will provide raw materials for construction to build Malaysia's first data center region. Apart from that, MCMC has also contributed 7,000 to Microsoft Bersama Malaysia global event that was held last April. Malaysia's Digital Economy Corporation, which is MDEC, that established in 1996 as the principal agency. It is the agency that is under the Ministry of Communication and Multimedia Malaysia, and that has contributed to be one of the sponsors for Microsoft Bersama Malaysia global event in 2021. According to Mr. Serena Shukri, the Chief Executive Officer of MDEC, they will develop an educational and accommodation facility for my digital economy workers, which are estimated to reach 90,000 by the end of 2023. The last official sponsorship is Sunway. Sunway Group, or mostly known as Sunway Berhad, was established in 1974. Sunway Berhad state that they will be contribute 5 million Malaysian ringgit for the upcoming Malaysian plan with Microsoft to empower every Malaysian through technology adoption. Next part is non-official sponsorship. Sense of Holding Berhad was founded in 2008 as a digital investment holding company firm. In 2021, Sense of will collaborate with Microsoft to provide its government resource planning system, which will operate on Microsoft Azure. Plus, the non-official sponsor is Plus Malaysia Berhad (PMB). It operates an expressway and is also involved in investment holding. Plus was incorporated in 2010. It also develops and manages highway as well as provide rest and service areas. Plus will integrate Microsoft Azure cloud technology into its Toll Plaza network to make it first of all kinds of system network in Malaysia.
Despite the pandemic period in Malaysia, Microsoft has created a few methods for the promotion and marketing that have been utilized to promote Microsoft Bersama Malaysia global event, such as social media, poster, banner, and also through their official website. The first method is Microsoft Malaysia also use social media platforms as the main marketing for the event, such as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Microsoft Malaysia has created an official account on Twitter and Facebook to keep bringing any updates of the latest news about Microsoft. Second, they also created the poster of the event and uploaded it on Twitter to let their followers know about the time, date, and which platform they use for their live event. The third one, a banner was used to help the promotion of the event. It is functional to ensure the title of the event as it is shown on the big screen of the event. And lastly, we can easily find any information on the official website of Microsoft to gather information or to know any news about the event other than social media.
Main content of the event. Microsoft Bersama Malaysia Global Event announced intention to create its first ever data center area in Malaysia. Microsoft launched its first data center region in Malaysia to supply the most trusted cloud services locally, marking a substantial commitment to supporting Malaysia's inclusive digital economy and advancing the strategy. It also has excellent data security, privacy, and the ability to store data locally. It also comes with top-notch data protection and privacy. This event's main purpose is to reveal their new ambitions for transforming the country into a regional digital economy leader. According to the IDC, Microsoft investment in Malaysia could produce up to $4.6 billion in additional revenue for Malaysia's network of local partners and cloud consuming consumers over the next 4 years. Apart from that, research reports suggest that Microsoft cloud-based clients will add over 19,000 jobs and income. They promise to equip 1 million Malaysian citizens with digital skills and assist them in taking full advantage of the prospect presented by this new investment. Microsoft Azure, which enables anybody to develop a purpose utilizing cloud services and capabilities that span computers, networking, databases, analytics, AI, and the Internet of Things, is one of the 3 digital infrastructures that will advance Malaysia's digital economy. The second one is Microsoft 365, which allows users to connect, communicate, work remotely, and study online with revolutionary productivity tools. And the third one is Dynamic 365, which uses the Power Platforms to swiftly build and manage essential enterprise business solutions at scale. This means that all of Microsoft data centers, buildings, and computers, including the planned Malaysia Data Center region, will have green energy power purchase agreements in place for 100% of carbon-emitting electricity utilized, which is to provide everyone with opportunities and to engage those that are interested in learning more about Microsoft's numerous job prospects.
Medical aids and emergency services. The first one is Polis Diraja Malaysia. To ensure that everything is in a good condition and everyone is safe, the PDRMs needs to protect and guard all attendees, including the VIPs and the Prime Minister of Malaysia, to ensure their safety throughout the event. Second one is Special Action Unit Malaysia. It was crucial to ensure that the Special Action Unit UTK was in a state of readiness to ensure that there was no harm happening to the guests, especially to the VIPs and Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin. The third one is Malaysia Firefighter. It is important that the Malaysian Fire and Rescue Department be prepared to deal with any potential hazard that may arise during the event. Next is Emergency Rescue Services. EMRS can provide emergency medical care services for victims involved in the incident during the event, such as they can restore breathing, cardiopulmonary resuscitation (CPR), controlling bleeding, and stabilize the victim before handing it over to the hospital. The last one is Malaysian Volunteer Corps Department Rela. The Malaysian Volunteer Corps Department Rela has a big role to lead and protect all the VIPs and guests to a safer area during the event.
Closing flow of the event. The moderator of the event started the second part of the program by introducing the great panelists that was presented for the day for a discussion about the digital-first economy Malaysia is offering for business. After the introduction part, they move on to discuss on how the COVID-19 has impacted the Malaysian economy. The moderator congratulates Microsoft for its Bersama Malaysia commitment, which will empower each person and every organization to achieve more. Next is they mention about the customers and partners of their supportive thoughts on Microsoft Bersama Malaysia initiative. The first supportive thought is from Mr. Arham, CEO of MIDA, said that he congratulates Microsoft for announcing Bersama Malaysia. MIDA will continue to support Malaysia's growth to become a digitally driven and advanced nation as envisioned by our nation's My Digital and Industry Forward aspiration. The second customer and partner is Mrs. Surina Shruti, the CEO of Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation MDEC. She congratulates Microsoft Bersama Malaysia and hopes that MDEC will extend its full partnership to help strengthen the foundation and development of our nation's digital infrastructure. The third one is supportive thoughts from Tengku Muhammad Taufik, who is the president and the group CEO of Petronas. He deeply honored and privileged to support the Bersama Malaysia initiative towards realizing the Malaysians' vision for a digital economy. Next supportive thoughts or last supportive thought is from Mr. Idham Nawawi, the CEO of Celcom Axiata Berhad, that is also a customer of Microsoft Bersama Malaysia. He congratulates Microsoft Malaysia for taking the lead with Microsoft Bersama Malaysia with the first regional data center to be established in Malaysia. The last closing flow of the event is the moderator represent Microsoft to thank all the participants who joined the online streaming and witness the day of the memorable occasion for the most important day. Post-event is after the event ended, Mr. K. Rana, the managing director of Microsoft Malaysia, held a press conference with journalists and reporters who were invited to give them the opportunity to ask some questions about Microsoft's plan to empower Malaysia's inclusive digital economy and advance the nation's digital transformation. He also thanked especially the partners and sponsors that play an important role in the event. Not to forget, he also thanked all the VIPs who participated and attended at the event that was held in Putrajaya.
The event's strength is based on how the organizer and team will cooperate to continue to advance and make it happen. To make it happen, commitment, good teamwork and effort are required. As we can see throughout the event, the first rank is the stage is well designed and guests sitting in the front could easily see what has been displayed on the screen during the event. They also follow the SOP during the event. Second, the launch ceremony was really intriguing because they presented the ops on the screen, and Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, our Prime Minister of Malaysia, and Mr. K. Raman, Managing Director of Microsoft Malaysia, needed to touch the ops to active the launch. The third one, the moderator of the event handled the event very well, and the way she questioned the panel when the discussion within the panelists is also very clear, and we can understand what they were discussing. And lastly, despite the pandemic in Malaysia, the event went off without a hitch. The event was streamed live online, and the interview from VIP who cannot attend the event also was conducted by video messaging.
Event weaknesses. First, there was no national anthem played at the beginning of the event. There was only an introduction about Microsoft and continued with reciting doa. Second, there were no opening performance or closing performance. They continued to open the event with a speech from Mr. K. Rahman and close it with a montage of supportive quotes from the partnership. Next, the live video meeting with the panelist Miss Andrea from Singapore. During her speech was not very clear due to the live meetings. Lastly, only a few VIPs, reporters and attendees are invited and will be able to attend the event in person because of the current pandemics.
Recommendation for future event. The first recommendation is it will be better in the future if the event organizer has greater advertising. For instance, radio stations, television stations, and a few others on social media. Furthermore, we hope that this event will be shown live on television. Its purpose is to inform everyone about the event's purpose. The second recommendation is, in order to assure that the events run smoothly and the guests are impressed, it would be preferable if the event organizer provided opening and closing performance, such as presenting the event attendees complete footage of what they intend to do with their My Digital Economy plan. By displaying a video like that, the guests will be more amazed and we have a better understanding of what Microsoft will do for our country.
The third recommendation is for the future event, it will be great to gather all the important persons that are partners with Microsoft and those who sponsor Microsoft. It is to let everyone know about the persons who are important to Microsoft and to capture the moment together as evidence for future proposals. And the fourth one is, we think it is better if they include the national anthem at the beginning of the event. Since they are showing live broadcasts from Malaysia, we think it is better to show some respect for Malaysia's culture to them. If they put the songs at the beginning of the event, Malaysia's national anthem can be heard around the world.
Conclusion for this event is Microsoft Bersama Malaysia Global Event empowering Malaysia's inclusive digital economy will provide many jobs opportunity for Malaysians in 2023. This announcement has brought a lot of happiness to all Malaysians, especially those who are unemployed and have no job after graduation. Moreover, through this event, we can see Microsoft's efforts to strengthen Malaysia's inclusive digital economy and enhance our country's digitalization across the commercial and public sectors. The project has immense potential for both domestic and global markets, and it is represent a pivotal accomplishment Microsoft in 28 years of operating in Malaysia. I guess that's all from our group for the event of Microsoft Bersama Malaysia Global Event empowering Malaysia inclusive digital economy. Thank you.